Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back yet again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And today we're back at Clive Christian. Yes, today we'll be talking about a Clive Christian fragrance. Definitely, this was at the top of the polls. I urge you guys to join the polls because they really do influence my decision on what's next, guys. And as many of you guys know, I am one of the few reviewers that actually review Clive Christian fragrances in depth, as well as give an objective stance on whether these fragrances are truly worth the given expensive prices, guys. Okay, so I hope you guys are excited. Let's get it. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Okay, liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel, guys. We are growing to 20K. We're almost there. I think we're like 600 away, guys. So please continue to like and subscribe. Watch the very huge library that we have of no hype reviews, and just, keep supporting, guys. Okay, so thank you so much for your support. I can't wait till we hit 20K. And the fragrance that we will be talking about today is none other than Clive Christian Art Deco Amberwood. Yes, Clive Christian Amberwood, guys. Okay, I'm pretty excited because as of today, it is still pretty cold out there. All fall winter fragrances are in play as of the moment, guys. And Amberwood came out back in 2022 as the sibling of Clive Christian Blonde Amber. That fragrance I already reviewed. It's still one of my top most watched videos, guys. Okay, so of course, we're not gonna leave Amberwood behind, guys. Can't wait to talk about this one. This fragrance obviously is one of those fragrances where they're pretty direct at what they mean here. Obviously, right here, both fragrances have amber as the spotlight note. And so one of the big questions that, most people will have here is, okay, what would I choose? Would it be Amberwood or Blonde Amber if I had a choice? Especially most of us don't have that kind of budget to buy both. What are the big differences? Because both of them will definitely have amber in them. Okay, so that's one of the big things that I'll discuss right here. What are the differences? What will you exactly get by purchasing or spraying or wearing Amberwood? And is it worth the exorbitant price of $550 for like 50 ml? Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about Clive Christian Amberwood, starting with the opening, guys. And the opening of this fragrance is quite lovely because you're getting some amber. Okay, so you get some amber from the get-go here in Clive Christian Amberwood, as expected, guys. So this is one of those fragrances that doesn't mess around, that doesn't go into a preview of something else or some mixed blend before you finally get the spotlight note. No, here in this fragrance, you do get some amber, some sweet honeyed amber from the get-go. But I would say that the modification here, or the thing that's kind of different here, is that it is accompanied by some musky, earthy, and spicy notes, guys. Okay, I would say slightly spicy with some earthiness and some muskiness. So obviously, with musk and musk mallow being a part of this intro, you're going to get a gradient, sort of like classy, elegant fall winter fragrance from the get-go. There's also some slight bergamot and pink pepper to really increase the tinge or the sensation as you are wearing this intro right here. But nevertheless, like I said, guys, musky, earthy, ambery is what you get from the get-go. So it's a combination of a gradient, classy, classic amber spotlight intro, plus a little bit of the wake-up notes with the spices right here. Now, this intro, definitely, I would say this is a mass-appealing intro. It is a mass-appealing intro. Again, kind of reminds me again of Bulgari's Ambero that I do have a full bottle of. I just bought it out of, a discount somewhere else from this guy. But anyways, it is mass-appealing. because you will get that sweet honeyed amber from the get-go. You will get the gradient from the musky notes as well as the spices, guys. I think that a lot of people that collect mass appealing fragrances will say, hey, this is a great smelling fragrance. And when it comes to the complement factor, this fragrance definitely, well, because it has a mass appealing character, at least the intro, has a very nice compliment factor. I mean, definitely I got a lot of compliments wearing this fragrance. I wouldn't say though that it was a strong blast type of perfume on the intro. Definitely I would say that the sillage of this fragrance is a lingering scent to begin with. And I would say that if you want more impact, a lot more impact than expected with this fragrance, and you are a compliment hunter, I would say go beyond 7 sprays that I usually do for this fragrance. Go beyond that, or maybe spread the sprays around so you can get a lot more compliments out of Amberwood. But definitely there is a draw in quality as expected, because this is an ambery, musky, spicy scent, but definitely you will get a lot of compliments regarding this fragrance. Now again, this fragrance does not play around. It gives you exactly what you expect with Amberwood, because the mid, guys, is a woody, earthy touch into this fragrance. So the initial part is going to be your sweet amber with some musk, spices, and slight bergamot. But then later on, I would say like an hour in, you will definitely get the woody, earthy side of this fragrance, guys. And the notes right here on the mid, you've got some woody notes, you've got patchouli, as well as some tobacco, guys. And so for a lot of people that love tobacco, I'm going to explain to you guys how the tobacco works here with Amberwood. The tobacco right here with Amberwood, I would say, is earthy and dry. It's still very prominent, but it's not going to be a loud, smoky tobacco. Matter of fact, it just lends an earthy tobacco facet right here in the mid, guys. But definitely, I would say the stronger notes are going to be the tobacco, as well as the woody notes, accompanied by kind of like that sharpness and that sweetness of some patchouli right here, guys. And the musk mallow right here in the mid is just a continuation of the muskiness provided by the Angelica to begin with, guys. Okay, so this is a real nice, I would say, low-key woody tobacco mid. Again, very flowy. It goes straight into this mid 1 hour in, and it's not like a huge change, guys. Okay, but definitely an enjoyable woody tobacco transition, still with the sweetness. Okay, and that's the thing. Okay, you'll get the consistent sweetness that you will get from the beginning, and it's possible that you have a very strong like labdanum or ambroxan note right here that's in the dry down, going up, beaming until the top, guys. Okay, so definitely I would say the ambery sweetness continues, but there is an earthy touch in the mid, some really low-key nice dry tobacco. This is the type of combination that the masses will like. So I really like this mid right here as well. Okay, guys, now we're headed to the dry down. We are past the opening and mid stages of Clive Christian Amberwood, both, again, very mass appealing. Now, the dry down right here is pretty interesting because it has a ton of notes. It's a medley of notes a la Roja. But one thing I will say is that all these notes, I would say, are interconnected. And definitely, I would say that the ambery notes are much more prominent and powerful, that they do show up early into this fragrance, guys. Okay, so let's look into the ambery notes. You've got your ambroxan, and then you've got the labdanum right here. Then you also have these earthy notes such as cypriol oil, which is really, really nice. You've got oud, apparently, as well as some musk, some orris, and some sweet notes such as tonka bean and vanilla. So how does this all come into play? Now, the really interesting thing about Clive Christian Amberwood is that its performance is actually quite, it's not really optimal. I would say the performance of Clive Christian Amberwood isn't optimal. And what I mean by this is that this fragrance goes into a low-key lingering scent somewhere in the mid, I would say like 3 hours in, and that's the consistent like strength all the way until the end. And it is a stark contrast to blonde amber, which is more of like an oomph, like a power fragrance from the get-go. This one here is quite low-key, and some people might take that as a bad thing, especially those paying for the bottle, and you kind of want a strong, at least aura scent performance until the end. And even when I was wearing this, one of my coworkers actually said, that fragrance that you're wearing, like, it smells really good, but I couldn't smell it after like the second or third hour, into our shift. And I was like, well, yeah, that's because it turned into a personal scent, kind of like a personal lingering scent that people from maybe 4 feet away will not smell. You will definitely smell it, but I would say that don't expect that, the immediate circle around you will smell it, or there will be a scent trail as it continues, because there is that drop in performance. And with that being said, based on my testing, the ton of notes here in the dry down, guys, which is consisted of all these crazy notes, but they're all linked together, is more on the longevity side. That's right, it's more on the longevity side, because a lot of them have very, very similar traits and characteristics. You've got cypriol oil and oud, you've got tonka bean sweetness with some vanilla. So they're more like notes that work together, but they do provide a very long dry down here in Clive Christian Amberwood. So anyways, the tonka bean is obviously going to be the bridge note from the tobacco. It still continues that sensation, I would say, but I would say also that the dry down of Amberwood gets sweeter. It gets a lot sweeter. If the mid was sweet and earthy, I would say the dry down is a lot sweeter. And that's because you're going to have the boom of vanilla. You're going to have the labdanum really, getting to its core. And you have other notes as well that are kind of sweet right here, guys. I would say even the oud is kind of like a sweet oud right here, guys. And even cypriol oil also has some sweetness. So definitely it gets a little bit more tonka bean and vanilla towards the end. And the thing about this loaded dry down, like I said, is that it makes for a very long dry down. So yes, this fragrance got weak. Okay, it was a personal scent, but I could still smell whiffs of the cypriol oil, of the labdanum, of even the oud actually, towards, I would say, past 17 hours, maybe 18 hours even. I could still smell those whiffs. And again, it won't be strong, but it's going to be there. And it lasts pretty long, guys. And I would say the latter part of the dry down, like hours and hours past the 12-hour mark, I would say that it becomes earthy. Like that's really where you smell the earthy notes, a lot more woody notes. The cypriol oil, the oud is a lot more prominent. But really, most of the memorable dry down will be a sweet tonka bean vanilla woods mix that, again, is pretty mass appealing, guys. Okay, so ultimately, I think that's the character of Clive Christian Amberwood. This is an expensive fragrance, but it will be liked by many. It won't be one of those niche fragrances that will have a 50-50 like split between people that are going to say, oh, this is too complicated, too complex. This is a direct fragrance, okay? Direct name. You get exactly what you get, Amberwoods. And yes, it's mass appealing. It's great smelling. And a lot of people judge fragrances like this. In my opinion, this fragrance is not for those that want to walk in a room and take up all the attention, have everybody do a neck break on them. This is for those that want to slowly seduce the room, walk in elegant, conservative, just like, I don't need to be friends with everybody, but then you will get those compliments. Oh, you look good. Oh, you smell good as well. Oh, what is that you're wearing? It smells very elegant. Like that kind of person, okay? Somebody that wants kind of like a secret weapon approach, I would say, with using fragrances. And there's a lot of those people, especially when it comes to upscale, elegant venues, guys, okay? So I think that that's what this is mostly for in terms of the performance. I think the mainstream will want more. So definitely, I would say overspray. That's really the best thing you can do, is overspray this fragrance to remedy, the performance issues that you may have with Clive Christian Amberwood. But definitely, this is a very nice mainstream scent. I would say, of course, fall, winter. But because this fragrance is balanced on the sweetness and it doesn't have like a strong blanket of notes, I would say that this fragrance can be used even in the warmer weather countries, especially if you're going out at night or if you're going to go out on a date, AC environments. Even if you live in a warm weather country, This is, I would say, by nature a fall winter scent, but is very, very usable because of what it is, because of how low-key it is. There's no strong blanket of curved notes. It's comforting still, but I think that's another good thing about this. It's very versatile. It can be worn anytime, anywhere. Also, in my opinion, very unisex. Very unisex indeed, guys. I feel like this one right here, it has the right amount of earthiness, and you could say even leatheriness towards the end. Earthiness, leatheriness, woodsiness. That it can be a masculine scent, but also enough sweetness to be a femme leaning scent as well. Very, very unisex, very versatile, very mass appealing and mainstream appealing. Of course, you're gonna ask me right now, what is my opinion on the full bottle worthiness of this fragrance? Now, to me, it's pretty expensive. Okay, $550 for 50 ml. But of course, I have a remedy on that. I have a discount code from Beverly Hills Perfumery, and I got this from them. They do have a discount for purchases above $150. You just got to put Troy D 24/7 Mall before you check out. So at least you get a discount right there, and they're very generous regarding niche scent samples. Something that would cost you $30 each, they actually give some for free with your purchase. Okay, guys? So if you can get it for less, yes, that's okay. But I really think $550 is pretty expensive retail for this fragrance right here. But nevertheless, it's a great standalone amber scent. Like I said, if you understand that it's gonna be a low-key personal scent as you are wearing it, long-lasting though, super long-lasting, then you'll definitely connect with Clive Christian Amberwood right here, guys. Okay, so that is it. That is my review of Clive Christian Amberwood. Let me know in the comments what you think of this fragrance. If you got exactly what I got, the results that I got while testing this fragrance. I am curious as to what you guys think. And if you bought a full bottle as a standalone amber fragrance for you, or if you live in a warm weather country and you own this, let me know as well. I am curious to know, guys. And that is it. That is my review. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. We are headed towards 20K. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TroyD247, as I do the full bottle 20K giveaway very, very soon, guys. Okay, so I'll see you guys on the next video. God bless. Take care. Peace.